New bolt action player, here's what nobody tells you. Most new bolt action players probably lose the first 10 games or so before they really understand why. And it's not because of bad dice, not necessarily because they picked the wrong list, but because nobody told them 3 things that every experienced player already knows. And today, that changes. Here's the problem with most beginner guides. They walk through the rules, the turn sequence, the order dice, the phases. That's all in the rulebook anyway. And here's what nobody covers. The stuff that kind of sits underneath the rules. The thinking that experienced players gather after 20 games. And that's what we're going to do here today. Get all 3 right from the start and you will play better bolt action in your first 5 games, better than most players play in their first year. Keep your light machine guns and your submachine guns apart. Number 1, and it's where most people get it consistently wrong, when you're putting your first squad together, it's tempting to kind of load it up. Put in a light machine gun, a few submachine guns, more damage, kind of makes sense. However, here's the problem. The light machine gun and the submachine gun do 2 different jobs and they're kind of opposite. The light machine gun wants to sit in cover, stay stationary, put sustained fire on a target across the table. The moment that squad moves, the light machine gun fires at a penalty or doesn't fire at all. The submachine gun is the exact opposite. Built for close range movement and aggression, moving up fast, closing the gap, threatening an assault, it wants to be in the action. So when you put both together in the same squad, you've built a unit that can't really commit to either role. The submachine gun sits in cover, wastes shots at range, or it pushes forward and drags the light machine gun into a fight it wasn't built for. You're not just playing with a weak unit, you're playing with a unit that actively kind of works against itself. The fix is simple. Light machine guns go in squads that plan to hold ground, so for objectives, that kind of thing, and keep the enemy away. Submachine guns go into squads that plan to close the gap, get into fights potentially. Keep these 2 jobs separate and your squads will do what they're designed to do. Now, a quick question before we move on. How many of you have built a squad with both submachine guns and light machine guns in them before you knew this? Drop it in the comments down below, and I guarantee you that I'm not the only one who learned this the expensive way. Number 2, and this one's a genuine mindset shift. I've said that wrong a few times. New players to bolt action play the game as though it's about destroying units. Experienced players play it like it's a game of pins and pin markers and playing the objective. And these are 2 completely different types of game. A unit under 3 or 4 pins is functionally done. Its order tests become increasingly difficult. It's going down, it's rallying, it's firing on a penalty when it activates. It's not pushing forward. It's not threatening anything. And you've neutralized it without removing a single model from the table. So when you spend an entire turn pouring fire into one single unit trying to wipe it out and you fail, you've wasted shots that could have been spent on putting pins across 2 or 3 different units instead. You're not just missing, you're wasting a shot. It's not just a miss, it's a wasted turn. The mental shift is this. Stop asking, can I kill the unit? Start asking, can I pin the unit enough that it can't threaten me? Often the answer to the second question is yes, even when the answer to the first one is no. Bolt action most often rewards control rather than destruction. Get comfortable with the unit sitting on the far side of the table under 4 pins. It's doing exactly what you want it to do. It's doing next to nothing. Even if every model in that unit is standing, you've kind of got it out of the game for 2 or 3 turns potentially. And if you're finding this useful, why not like and subscribe down below while you're at it to be instantly updated when the next video comes out. Right, on to number 3. Number 3, this one might save you months of frustration. When new players pick their first army, they often go for something interesting, a minor nation, a cool thematic, historically an unusual faction with a unique special rule. And I completely understand the appeal. That's where I went first. It's part of what makes the hobby what it is. But here's what nobody tells you before you buy it. Minor nations are significantly harder to play as a beginner. Not a wee bit harder, but noticeably harder. They have fewer model options so that your list building is constrained before you even start. Can't always get the models you want that's in the list. They've got more complex national rules in general that interact with the core game in ways that aren't obvious until you've already made the mistake. The 5 major nations, Germany, USA, the Soviet Union, Great Britain and Japan, have years of community knowledge behind them. If you're struggling, you can find help. Tournament lists, forum threads, club players who've run that army 50 times. With a minor nation, you're on your own. And this is where most players go wrong. They assume they're bad at the game, when actually the army they chose made the learning curve so much steeper than it needed to be. It wasn't skill, it was selection. Start with one of the big 5. Learn the core loop, understand your own play style, and then once you know how bolt action actually works, pick your minor nation. You'll enjoy it a lot more and you'll play it a lot better. So, 3 things nobody tells new bolt action players. Keep your LMGs and your SMGs in separate squads. Play for pins, not kills. And start with one of the 5 big nations. So if you remember one thing from this video, remember this. Bolt action is a game about control, not destruction. Every good decision flows from that. And if you want a structured way to think through your game plan before you even sit down at the table, put game plan below in the comments. And I'll send you a copy of my game plan that I use before every game. You can print it out, fill it in before your next game, and you will instantly play with a plan instead of just reacting and guessing. Take care, guys, and we'll talk again soon.